Hey y'all, just wanted to give an update. Last week was my 4th trip to Kansas. The doctor was encouraged by the physical improvement he saw. He was pleased with my testing. Some things went from bad to good. Some went from bad to better, and we had some bad that just stayed bad. He changed up some of my medication, so we're going to continue working on things, and hopefully the improvements continue. When I say improvements, they are small, but I'm going to try to do a couple to document where I am so I can see my progress. One thing that's hard for me, on my left hand especially, is to make my thumb touch all 4 fingers. When I had the surgery on my left hand to do a nerve transfer, I was told that I could lose part function of my pinky finger and ring finger. And for a long time, I have not been able to make my thumb touch those fingers. We're gonna see. Don't know if you could see it, but I got all 5. I can do that about 80 to 90% of the time now. When my hand gets tired after therapy, it's really difficult. But given the fact that that nerve transfer affects that hand, I'm pleased with that progress, and so was he. Another thing is I use this silicone tube for grip and then for wrist and hand strength, and I twist. In the past, after about 6 or 8 of those, on my left hand, my thumb and my pinky would lose grip. When that happened, my ring finger would pull away because that pinky pulled it away. I can now do 20 of those and not lose my grip. So for me, that's huge. I'm very proud of that accomplishment. And I'm going to keep working and see what comes up next. When I started Kansas, I was skeptical, I was desperate, and I was afraid of being taken advantage of. So Greg and I prayed about what we should do. We both knew that we wanted to try it. We had to try it. And we're very glad we did. I know there are some of you that probably thought, maybe still think, that it's crazy, it's odd, and probably still afraid that I'm being taken advantage of. And I think about that a lot. People talk about false hope. But for me, the thing about hope is you don't know if it's false hope or not until you try it. I like to say you can't win a fight that you're not in. So we're in this one, and we believe we're seeing progress, but I'm still blown away by the process. And right now I'm reading through John, and last week I was in John chapter 11. And if you're unfamiliar with it, in that chapter is the account of the blind man who had been blind from birth. And there's a lot of lessons we can learn in that one. But what I want to talk about is the way that God works. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. And he is not bound by what we believe is possible. All through Scripture, we see where he uses unusual things to bring about his will. So as, excuse me, as I was thinking about how hard it is for me to believe that my body is being restored and my health is improving from the use of plants. The medication that I take from him is herbal medicine and homeopathic medicine. And it's hard for me to understand that something this horrible can be treated with something that seems so simple. But I want to read to you from Max Lucado, the Gospel of John. It's his life lesson series from John. And as it would turn out, I don't believe in coincidences. As it would turn out, like I said, I was reading John 11 last week. Here is what Max Lucado has to say in his commentary. Jesus spat on the ground, stuck his finger in the puddle, and stirred. Soon it was a mud pie, and he smeared some of the mud across the blind man's eyes. The same one who turned a stick into a scepter and a pebble into a missile now turns saliva and mud into a balm for the blind. Here's the meat of it. Once again, the mundane became majestic. Once again, the dull became divine. The humdrum became holy. Once again, God's power was seen, not through the ability of the instrument, but through its availability. Where your hope is placed is what's important. My hope, when you use hope in the context of fingers crossed, wishful thinking, I hope this works. That type of hope is placed in these herbal medicines. This doctor who does this alternative testing to determine what medication to put me on. But my hope, my confidence in my healing comes from God above, the one who uses these mundane items, these common things to make the unbelievable happen. So as I thought about that, I thought, why not? Herbal medication has been around for hundreds of years. And even back in biblical times, you can see where it was used. But again, I hope my doctor in Kansas knows what he's doing. I hope these herbal medications bring more healing and more improvement. But my confidence is in God, and He is faithful. And I'm just excited to see what else He has in store for me. Thank you all for your prayers, your support. Keep them coming. I hope to see many more small improvements as a result. And maybe soon we'll get some bigger ones. But if this is it, it is enough.